Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, this is it, everybody. My last stand for the final time.
No hat, no bandana, no rap, no nothing. Let's do this.
Let me tell you a story.
What's going on, my music files, my DJs, and my music lovers out there? Welcome back to Music Reviews, where I'm doing my final Shizzy review ever.
What the hell did you just say?
We'll get into why this is my final Shizzy review video ever at a different date. Right now, we're going to talk about the song Special from his latest EP, All for Nothing.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
Now, a lot of you guys are probably just going to yourselves like, but V, you were saying very, very confidently that there is no possible way to try and do a single review about the EP itself. And it's true. The entire EP as a whole, you cannot do a full-blown review about due to the fact that it's super personal on that giant scope when you put it together. However, it's easier to break it down separately into singular units. That way you can be analytical with all of your sort of approaches to make everything a lot more impactful. Such is the case as Special is today. So, how to break this down onto a simplistic format before we get into the huge themes and metaphors and whatnot. Simplistically, it is a regular song for those that know what it's like to lose someone that they choose as their significant other. Doing so, you end up with that whole new construct of how can you discern what you want in a relationship once everything is broken, how you want to pursue things away from the ex, but ultimately how it's swarming you in all these negative emotions that leave you wanting and craving more because you're lost into your own psyche about how things have ended. Whether or not that actually pursues into something a lot more deeply compelling is something I would save for one of my more therapeutic type videos where I just break down stuff on an emotional level. In any case, what I could discern and leave as a small analysis is, as first and foremost, that this just seems like the evolutionary process from the previous breakup songs that we've had before.
Please explain.
Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, V, if this is just going to be an analysis about Special, how is this going to correlate inside anything to do with any of the previous songs that Shizzy has made? Honestly, this feels like an evolutionary process from the beginning tracks that we could go into and not go into at the same time. Case in point, doesn't Special remind you of a few songs in particular? We're going to start with what that clip just showed before of Her. Each step from where Her has become and gone into this huge evolutionary process speaks more volumes than where we could ever discern a certain musical standpoint involving Special or the entire EP at large. Her is literally the story that Shizzy wants to tell about a love that many of us can understand or relate to. We may not be in the same shoes as Stefan was when he was in this breakup, but we also have that resonance of we know what it's like to be in that relationship where it does hurt. And that singular quote that we all remember that has been pursuing Shizzy's whole career when it comes to breakup songs of...
Understand a broken heart speaks viciousness. Scream in the moment it shattered to all listen. At once a broken heart speaks viciousness. Scream in the moment it shattered to all listening.
That speaks enough volumes as well to go back into how Special leads us back into this quote.
Ain't nothing greater than the feeling you get waking up to someone that you think loves you back. Ain't no worse feeling than cherishing and giving your all to someone only to see that they don't appreciate you. Life.
Everything kind of circles around itself to become what it is again. That way, when we go into the second installment of this whole breakup saga, which becomes Lovely Nostalgia.
My heart roams in the moments before we broke apart. When our souls were one, you didn't play the role of the born apart. Now I stroll by my lone in this cold apartment till the world departed, asking how I could be so to believe you're wholehearted.
Without that whole set imagery about how to convey your own emotions into something that's a lot more powerful in increments, that impact that we have when it initially hits does not actually resonate the way that we want to. You can hear the same song over and over again and just be like, okay, but where does it even come from? But it hits more of a value when you know the history that builds up to be what this incredible track can be. And then it leads us into, oh god, Sour. With Sour being more of the angry variety, it tends to really circulate into where the calmness of Special holds more value than you realize. Where in Sour's case, since I can't really show any visual mediums for it, is honestly how we feel after everything sinks in, and after we see certain things, know a couple of notions, no matter what the case may be, we end up crumbling into a rage-filled state that once we evaporate all those negative emotions to try and get at least some closure once everything is said and done, ends up with the beauty that we have today. And lo and behold, that's what makes Special itself truly what it is in the title. Special. In any case, from just those small exact notions about how I'm trying to discern the exact market, where does this lead into the overall factor that can be Special? Well, if we were to just break it down lyric by lyric, it's honestly your typical breakup / closure song. It's the end of an entire saga that we did not know that we were on, but it actually led us into something that was more cathartic than we ever thought was possible. Because it ends up hitting us with a lot of different frames, a lot of different key notes that none of us really imagined would be possible. And I find that more beautiful than if I were to just break it down as a singular track, because this isn't just one track. It's a story coming to an end. The exact line that I'm trying to follow through on it, from Her to Lovely Nostalgia to Sour to maybe this entire EP as a whole, we will never know, because it may not be the same relationship. It may just be something entirely different, and I might be pulling some stuff to make everything sound like it has some sense or semblance of a coherency to it that doesn't really deserve to be there. But in all honesty, I find it to be a beautiful way to end off all of the whole hurt, the pain, the anguish, and all of these dark emotions towards romance and love as a whole, for what Shizzy's whole brand has been as a storyteller, to be a wordsmith, to be a poet in the streets, all those things and more, in more of a beautiful semblance than I could ever imagine for what is Shizzy's whole established brand, his intellect, his witticism, his wordplay. All of those are at most top-notch when it comes to how Special truly is what its title depicts itself as. And the music video alone, you guys can break down the music video in its own semblance of a man on his way out of a journey to get to the closure of, I can accept everything, I know the pain may linger for as long as it can, and I want to share this notion with the world. You can break it down like that because it's still a story that comes to an end, whether it's just from an EP standpoint or doing the method that I used, and it still goes down the same pathway to the exact same conclusion. And I enjoyed that a lot more than I ever could, but in that same exact vibe is why I have an issue now, where we're getting to the point where the more you dive into these songs with Shizzy is when you notice that there's an end in sight to what anyone could break down. But we'll get into that a different day. Right now, let's just go into Special as a representative for the All for Nothing EP, as well as a song in general, to give it the exact rating I want to give it. Where, if I'm honest, because this is Shizzy doing what he does best as himself, as nobody else but himself, I want to award this entire song and music video alone a solid 9.9 out of 13, giving it a B+, and awarding it 5 out of 7 stars. But I'm not going to say it's a bad song, or it's a terrible song, or it's lacking anything. I'm going to get into why I'm doing this in the future video that closes out the entirety of my Shizzy videos. As it stands, that's where the review is for the song as a standalone thing. To put it as an entire saga to tie in to even the EP, it goes to the market of saying I would give it an 11.5, or if I'm just going to be real with you guys, a 12.0, like pure 12 out of 13. A solid A, no A minus, no A plus, just a solid A, and giving it 6.5 out of 7 stars. And I'll even give it the Mooney medal, a medal named after my youngest daughter that I only reserve for things that are too important and too special to pass up for any sort of reason, whether it's music, film, play, no matter what the adaptation is in the entertainment industry. If it's great and solid, I recommend anyone take a listen, watch it, go buy up merchandise for it, whatever have you. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I have to prepare for my final take on Shizzy, and then I will bid you all from the Sixers and the God Bodies an adieu. So make sure you guys be cool, don't fuck up too many things, and just stay solid.
You crazy mother. You like to try.
Your lack of ambition is matched for pride. You're gonna be the cause of your own demise. How a look when you look in the mirror and see the same image when you close your eyes. R.I.P. to y'all. I hate to see you fall. Word up. Y'all died without a purpose, worthless verses. See, that's the worst death of all. My God. Hold up, shut the fuck up, nigga. You can take this personal while I sip on this personal, my nigga. Hold up, shut the fuck up, ho. I don't hear what you saying. Which one of these bills is you paying?